the first thing I would say is know the signs, know the warning signs that things are moving. And I'm talking about preventative maintenance now. Know the warning signs that things are moving in a catastrophic direction.
We're calling out the domestic violence, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. It's all wrong. Physical, it's all wrong. And it has no place in the marriage. At the same time, we're saying be verbal in the organizations that you're connected to, whether it's a church, whether it's a psychologist, a therapy, be verbal about your abuse. Be verbal about it, because I think you never will get the light shine that it needs on this situation personally if you're not verbal about the abuse that you're going through.
Absolutely.
And I think that whether that's male or female, to Pastor Minister Thurman's point earlier, there's an ego thing, a pride thing associated with it when a man reports abuse, right? I can handle it. I can, it's my house. I'll deal with it, right? Mm-hmm. And until it becomes a major problem that everyone else has to deal with, mm-hmm. It's no one else's business, right? And so be verbal about your abuse. That's my message to everyone out there, guys.
Ms. Thurman?
Yes, I'm totally in agreement, and I can't get off here without also saying, and still keep God in it. Still stay prayerful. Still know that God is still able, despite what you're going through, despite what you all are going through. God is still able, and we can still trust him. And just know that there's still help. There's still avenues that can be reached. A lot of jobs have work solution places and hotlines that you can go to. See someone at the church. Look in your community for certain outreaches, for certain shelters. But more importantly, seek God's counseling before anything.
I would say the first thing I would say is know the signs. Know the warning signs that things are moving. And I'm talking about preventative maintenance now. Know the warning signs that things are moving in a catastrophic direction would be one of the first things I would say. I would say don't ignore it when it happens. Don't allow it to be brushed aside. Minister Thurman talked about this earlier. Don't allow it to be brushed aside or swept up under the rug, or, he was just having a bad day, or she was just having a bad day. We're going to have a lot of bad days. We're going to have a lot of bad days. That can't be the excuse for any kind of domestic abuse, be it verbal or physical. So we can't ignore anything. We also, as people, need to be a resource and be ready to listen when someone is telling us what is going on in their homes. And that goes to Minister Thurman's other point about knowing the numbers to local shelters. Not being afraid to document what's going on and write it down if necessary. And if need be, getting the police involved. Whatever it takes, nothing is off. And I'm not a big advocate of calling the police for anything, but this is one of those situations. No. We cannot take any chances with this whole situation here at all. We need everything documented. We need everything written, because a lot of times women, particularly women and men, but women in particular in this case, don't file charges, of domestic abuse and domestic violence and things like that. Well, we need to make sure that we get it documented, because if it's not documented, then who's to say it actually happened? You say he beat you. Well, did you call the police? Well, no, I didn't want to call the police. Well, then how do I know you're not lying on me? So we need to make sure that we're documenting things as well.
Great call.
Hey,
Pastor Adam, go ahead, Sidney.
I'm really sorry, guys.
Okay.
Something was sparked. We also need to have empathy too.
Yeah.
We also have to have empathy, and things that we've went through. There's a lot of people that went through these. Share your testimony. Share how you came out.
That's true.
Come on, y'all. Share how you got over. Share how you and your husband, how y'all was able to reconcile. Let's be able to share those things with others, so when they go through, that's also biblical too. Yeah. So when you come out, you want to reach for somebody else and help them out as well. I'm sorry, guys. I want to add that in because sometimes we can get on things and we can hoard things. You know, we known for hoarding. We can hold on to things.
Yeah.
We need to be able to share those things with people and be transparent and be open and say, you know what, I went through that too, but look how I got out. Look what we did. I think those things are important as well.
Yeah, and remove the shame from it.
Yes,
the shame from
that's
it.
excellent. Excellent.
Because that's part of the reason we don't share it is because we were ashamed that we were in it.
Good point.
You know, that it was
very good point.
So we don't want to tell anybody about it.
Very good point.
Remove the shame from it. Yes, it happened. Yes, you know, I was a victim of abuse, or yes, I was in fact a victimizer. I was an abuser.
Yes.
And young, you know, I see you going in this direction. Listen, no, you can't do that. I messed up. I'm trying to keep you from messing up.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent.
The stigma.
That's powerful.
Because
yes.
we know what happens.
You know, a lot of times that shame, and I'll move to you, Adam. A lot of times that shame is given by your own family. You know, we set these goals that I'm gonna be married and I'm never gonna get divorced, and you stay in something because of this big, you know, platform that you've raised up, or this stigmatism that you bought into with, you know, with your family and others, and you don't want people to know that it's not working. It's not working right. You know, he got laid off. You hear spouses making excuses for the person that's doing the abusing, right? He got laid off, or, you know, he lost his job, whatever, or he had a rough day at work, and don't take ownership of what's being done to you, or don't take ownership of your abuse as you're the one, you deserve it. Don't do that. Don't take that ownership of that. And like I said before, be verbal about what is happening in your home in terms of abuse. Be verbal about that. And because if you don't, that could be the shortest, that could be the ticket to you dying in your home without anyone knowing any history. Like Pastor John said, any history of this actually happening. And so when these allegations come out,
well, you know what happens when it comes out, but they seem like such a nice couple.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens in those situations. I'm sorry, Pastor Adam, go ahead.
No, that was good. I mean, I agree. The reality is that sometimes because of the shame of it, we hide and we conceal the things. We put on makeup and foundation to cover up the bruises on our eyes. You know, we put on a good suit to keep people from noticing that we're limping when we walk into the building or we're walking to church or whatever like that. It's important that we, I think it's so important that we have a system of accountability of good friends and good brothers who will actually pay attention to us. I think a lot of times this stuff goes unnoticed is because we're not paying attention to people.
Sure.
We're absorbed in our own lives. We got our own personal interests. And I'm not saying that we ought to be busybodies and nosy and digging up people's, no. What I'm saying is there ought to be a level of concern for our brothers and our sisters that when I see you operating in a way that you don't normally operate in, then I ought to take notice of that. And I ought to start asking you questions. Hey, Brother Sidney, how you doing today? You all right, man? What's going on? I saw you limping. Is everything okay? You know, Minister Terrell, is your eye okay? It looks a little swollen. What's happening? I think we can't be afraid to get involved. Yeah. And again, we're now living in a society that doesn't want to get involved. But the reality is, in order for me to survive and be who I am, I need somebody to check on me every now and then to make sure that I'm okay. That'll really definitely stem a lot of abuse that's happening and that's going unreported. You know, if somebody were to be concerned, you know, it's so interesting. Sometimes I watch some of these crazy shows, some of these police procedural shows, and they'll talk about the battered wife that is coming to the police station to report on her husband, as if to say that, you know, he's been beating me again. I need to get a restraining order against him. And for whatever reasons, the police officers won't do it. And it's not until they get called to the house and somebody's laying dead that now that they've taken a notice of what's happening. Let's not let that happen within our community anymore. Let's really begin to pay attention to what's happening in each other's lives so that nobody else has to die.
Amen. Amen.
And I just want to say this other part that sparked when you were talking. Let's stop making false claims too.
No.
Stop lying on people. If you're in an abusive relationship,
Real claims.
right,
Yeah.
call it out. But if you're not in an abusive relationship, if you're not being abused by someone, stop lying on people.
Or at least I would say, I wouldn't necessarily say stop lying. I would say make sure that it is what you're saying it is. That's one of the
Right.
reasons when we started this dialogue, I wanted to start with some definitions.
Right. That's a good point.
Because I might think it's abuse
Mhm.
and it's not.
Right.
I might not think it's abuse and it actually is.
It is. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's why we wanted to start it with some definitions to make sure that we could be at least have a level playing field regarding our understanding of what it actually is.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Pastor John here. Please, if you like this video that you just saw, hit that like button for us. Second thing I want to ask you to do is to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out videos once a day at about 5:30 p.m. Hit that bell notification so that you'll know when a new video has been uploaded. And then the final thing to do, share this video, share this information. If you know somebody that has a need that it can be benefited by it, please put it out in circulation so that we can try to help as many people as possible. Thanks, and God bless.